So now we are going into the problem session. Okay, so let's see the first problem. It is to find the unit vector perpendicular to each of the vector. The vectors that is given here is vector A plus vector B and vector A minus vector B, where vector A and B are the given values. Okay, so what does it say? These have to be considered as two vectors and we have to find a unit vector which is perpendicular to these. You remember how did we do it for the unit vector in the direction of the given vector or parallel to the given vector? It was the dot product. Now here the unit vector which is perpendicular to the given vectors. If these two are the vectors and this is the perpendicular to the vector, then this vector is what you are asked to find. It is again the cross product, right? So I find the cross product between vector A plus vector B, the cross product. Okay, vector A minus vector B. I find the cross product of these two and that is the unit vector. This is the, and I am going to find the unit vector which is perpendicular to both these vectors, that is the cross product. Am I clear? I have named this cross product of these two vectors as vector C. Now let's see what is vector A plus vector B. Now it is given, vector A and vector B are given, so the sum is 2i plus 3j plus 4k. And the difference vector A minus vector B, that is 0i minus j, then plus k minus 3k, that is minus 2k. Now vector A plus vector B cross vector A minus vector C, that is our the determinant value I, j, k, 2, 3, 4, 0, minus 1, minus 2. So what do I get? This is equal to I into minus 6 minus or minus plus 4 minus j into minus 4 minus 0 plus k into minus 2 minus 0. So this gives me minus 6 plus 2 plus 4 minus 2i plus 4j minus 2k. So this is the cross product between these two vectors. So now I have taken this as what? Vector C. Okay, so vector C is equal to what? This is the cross product between these two vectors. That is was marked as vector C. So now vector C is what? Vector C is the cross product between these two. Now what is a unit vector? Unit vector is given by, the unit vector of vector C is given by vector C cap, which is equal to vector C divided by magnitude of vector C. Vector C divided by magnitude of vector C. Now let me find what is the magnitude of vector C. Now to find the magnitude of vector C, I have this as root of 2 square plus 4 square plus 2 square, that is square root of 4 plus 16 plus 4, that is root 24. So coming back to find the unit vector, I have it as minus of 2i plus 4j minus 2k by root of 24. Either you can write it like this or you can even split it and write like minus 2i by root 24 plus 4j by root 24 minus 2k by root 24. Further, if you want, you can simplify also, but this is exactly what it is asked. So what is the question? Question was to find the unit vector perpendicular to each vector. So you found the vector C which is perpendicular to both these vectors. Perpendicular means what? It is the cross product of given two vectors. So you found that value of C, the vector C, such that it is perpendicular to the given two vectors. Then finally you have to find the unit vector. The unit vector perpendicular to each of the vector. So C is the perpendicular vector to both these vectors and the unit vector is what? Magnitude, it's said to be C cap, which is vector C by magnitude of vector C. Okay, now let's draw a triangle. So this is a triangle here with the vertex A, B and C, and suppose this is the angle theta. Then what is vector AB? Vector AB is equal to vector B minus vector A, isn't it? So 1 minus 1, 0i, 2 minus 1, j, 3 minus 1 plus 2k. And vector AB, that is this side, Now AC. What is vector AC? Vector AC is equal to C minus B. C minus A. That is 2 minus 1 I plus 3 minus 1 2j plus 0k. So vector AB is equal to, I can rewrite this as j plus 2k, and vector AC can be written as I plus 2j. So these are the two values of vector A and vector B. Now let me now find the what is the area? Area is area of triangle ABC is equal to half of magnitude of AB, vector AB cross vector AC. Okay, vector AB cross vector AC. So what do you have? Magnitude of vector AB cross vector AC is equal to, AB cross vector AC is equal to what? It is the square root of, or first let me find the determinant first. So that it is I, J, K, AB is 0, 1, 2, then 1, 2, 0. So what do you get? I into 1 into 0, 0 minus 4 plus, minus j into 0 minus 2 plus k into 0 minus 1. That is minus 4i plus 2j minus k. So this is the cross product of AB cross AC. So this is the determinant value. Now I find what? I find the magnitude of this. That is magnitude of vector AB cross vector AC is equal to the square root of negative 4 square, that is 16, plus 4 plus 1. So what do you get? Root of 21. So finally, what is area of triangle ABC is equal to half into root 21 square units. Fine. So this is the area of triangle ABC. Okay. Now let's come to the next question. We have here, show that vector A minus vector B cross vector A plus vector B is equal to 2 times vector A cross vector B. So let's take the LHS. LHS is equal to vector A minus vector B cross vector A plus vector B. So this is equal to vector A cross vector A plus vector B minus vector B cross vector A plus vector B. Now removing, taking the cross inside. Vector A cross vector A plus vector A cross vector B minus vector B cross vector A minus vector B cross vector B. Now do you remember that me telling you I cross I is equal to 0? Exactly the same thing is happening here. I shall give the explanation here, then you will understand why I cross I is equal to 0. A cross A. You know A cross A is the determinant of I, J, K, then the component, the scalar components of vector A, again the scalar components of vector A. Now if two rows of the determinant are the same, you know that the value of the determinant is 0, isn't it? So I have this part is equal to 0 as well as B cross B is also equal to 0. Now negative of B cross A is again what? Negative of A cross B. So negative of negative becomes what? Positive. So B cross A is negative of A cross B. So negative of negative becomes positive. So here we have A cross B plus, what do you have when it reverses? A cross B. Negative of A cross B. That is negative of negative positive. That gives me 2 times vector A cross vector B. Am I clear? Okay, let's move on to the next question. It is to find the value of lambda and mu if this cross product of the two given vectors is equal to 0. Now, if this is equal to 0, this implies the determinant I, J, K, 2, 6, 27, 1 lambda mu is equal to what? 0. So, I have this as I into 6 mu minus 27 lambda minus j into 2 mu minus 27 plus k into 2 lambda minus 6 is equal to what? 0. Now this is ijk. This is a vector. Definitely the right hand side is also a vector, right? Now here from the equating the components on both sides, I get this is equal to 0. Then I have minus of 2 mu minus or minus plus 2 27 is equal to 0. 2 lambda minus 6 is equal to 0. So I get the value in this form. Am I clear? Now I take these two values because in the first equation I have mu and lambda, isn't it? So I cannot simplify. So I take these two. Minus 2 mu plus 27 is equal to 0, which implies mu is equal to 27 by 2, right? Then 2 lambda minus 6 is equal to 0 implies lambda is equal to 6 by 2, which is equal to 3. Now, I have got the value of lambda and mu. Mustn't I check for it, for its uniqueness? So, I substitute these two values of lambda and mu in the first equation. What do I get? 6 into 27 by 2 minus 27 times 3 is equal to 2 goes here thrice. 3 times 27 minus 3 times 27 gives you what? 0. What does this imply? This implies lambda is equal to 3 and mu is equal to 27 by 2 are the proper values of lambda and mu, satisfying the given cross product. Okay. Now, let's see the next question. Okay, so show that the points A, B and C are collinear and find the ratio in which B divides AC. So, B is the one that is dividing AC. That is what the second part of the question says. So, now the first part says it is to show that it is collinear. Collinear means what? The lines, the points are lying on a same line or they are parallel. Okay, so collinear. So, find AB, vector AB. What is vector AB? That is position vector of B minus position vector of A. What is position vector of B? Now there is a negative sign here. Sorry, there is a negative sign there. So position vector of B is 5i plus 0j minus 2k minus I minus 2j minus 8k. So what do you get? 5i minus I, 4i plus 2j minus of minus plus 8 minus 2, that is plus 6k. Okay, so I take a 2 common out. What do I get? 2i plus j plus 3k. Isn't it or not? So this is AB. Now what is BC? Because B is the one that is dividing A and B. That is the second part that says. Okay, so BC. BC is equal to position vector of C minus position vector of B. So I have this as position vector of C is what? 11i plus 3j plus 7k minus position vector of B 5i plus 0j minus 2k. What do you get? 11i minus 5i gives you 6i. 6i plus 3j plus 9k. I am going to take a 3 common outside so that I get 2i plus j plus 3k. Right? Now, if you look at AB is 2 times this vector, B is 3 times the same vector that you get here. So, what is AB by BC? AB by BC is of 2 by 3. Vector AB by vector BC is of the form 2 by 3. This implies vector AB is equal to 2 by 3 times vector BC. Isn't it or not? That means vector AB is equal to lambda into vector C. What does that mean? B is the common point to these two vectors and B divides AC. B divides AC. In which ratio does this B divides AC? B divides AC. From this we get B divides AC in the ratio 2:3 because AB by BC is 2 by 3. So B divides AC in the ratio 2:3. Am I clear? Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. It is if vector A and vector B are mutually perpendicular vectors of equal magnitude. What does that mean? They are mutually perpendicular. What does it mean by mutually perpendicular? That means vector A dot B. Now forget about the cross product and things which we have already discussed. Now we are discussing on something that is both having connection with cross product and dot product. Okay. So this is saying that these vectors are mutually perpendicular vectors of equal magnitude. That is, mutually perpendicular means what? Vector A dot vector B is equal to vector A dot vector C is equal to vector B dot vector C, which is equal to 0. When the vectors are mutually perpendicular, their dot product is equal to 0. And it is also said that they are of equal magnitude. That is, magnitude of vector A equals magnitude of vector B equals magnitude of vector C. I take this as a constant value, say k. Okay. Now, what is it asked? Show that the vector A plus vector B plus vector C is equally inclined to, that is, this vector is equally inclined to vector A, vector B and vector C. That means what? This vector dot A, right? This vector dot B and this vector dot C. All these are having equal inclination, equal angles. So, now let's see. What is the magnitude of vector A plus vector B plus vector C? Okay. Why do we find that? Because we are going to find the angle. Okay, so angle means what? It is the dot product, again cos theta value, cos A dot, vector A dot vector B is equal to magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta. From that theta I am going to find the value and say that this expression dot A, this expression dot B and this expression dot C all are having equal angles. So let me find the magnitude of vector A plus vector B plus vector C. Okay, magnitude of vector A we already know, it is k. So magnitude of vector A plus magnitude of vector B plus magnitude of vector A plus B plus vector C is what I am going to find. Okay, now for that I have vector A plus vector B plus vector C. What does the magnitude means? It is again the dot product. So that is the magnitude of this means what? It is vector A plus vector B plus vector C dot vector A plus vector B plus vector C. Now this is equal to, I shall find the dot product. What will I get? Vector A dot vector A plus vector A dot vector B plus vector A dot vector C plus vector B dot vector A plus vector B dot vector B plus vector B dot vector C plus vector C dot vector A plus vector C dot vector B plus vector C dot vector C. So this is the dot product. Now what can you say about vector A dot vector A? It is magnitude of vector A, isn't it? Magnitude of vector A the square, right? Magnitude of vector A the square plus B dot B is magnitude of vector B the square plus C dot C, magnitude of vector C the square, plus you have an A dot B here, B dot A here. So that I will write that 2 times vector A dot vector B, because dot product is commutative. Then vector A dot vector C plus 2 times vector B dot vector C. Now you see this part, vector A dot vector B, vector B dot vector C, vector A dot vector C are all zeros. So what do you get? Magnitude of vector A plus magnitude of vector B plus, magnitude of vector A plus vector B plus vector C is equal to magnitude of vector A the square plus vector B the square plus vector C the square. Now see, it is all these magnitudes are equal to k. That is 3 times k square. Isn't it or not? So I get it as magnitude of vector A plus vector B plus vector C. The square is equal to, 3k square. So vector A plus vector B plus vector C is equal to what? Root 3k. K is outside the root. Root 3k. Now I move on to find the angle. So now to find the angle, I take, let alpha, beta and gamma be the angles that are formed. So it is cos theta, cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma are now the angles that this makes with the vector A, vector B and vector C. Now first one, that is vector A plus vector B plus vector C dot vector A is equal to what? Magnitude of vector A plus vector B plus vector C into magnitude of vector A into what? Cos alpha. Right? Cos alpha. So now what do I get? This is vector A dot vector A plus vector B dot vector A plus vector C dot vector A is equal to, what is magnitude of this? This is root 3k. Further, magnitude of this is k, and here you have cos alpha. Now these two values are zeros. So magnitude of A dot A is what? Magnitude of A the square is equal to root 3k square into cos alpha. Root 3k square into cos alpha. Now, what is magnitude of A the square? Isn't it k square? So, k square is equal to root 3k square cos alpha. Now, here k square and k square cancel, which implies cos alpha is equal to 1 by root 3. 1 by root 3. Similarly, you can find what? Cos beta. Cos beta will be also equal to 1 by root 3, as well as cos gamma is also equal to 1 by root 3. What is the conclusion about all these things? We say that the angles are equally inclined. The angles are equally inclined. Which one? These two vectors. The vector A plus B plus vector C to vector A. This expression to vector B and this expression to vector C are mutually inclined. Okay. So what do we say? These expression of vector A plus vector B plus vector C and vector A, they are the angle between them. These two and these two are equal, and that is given by 1 by root 3. Is that clear? Okay. As I have told you in the previous video also last week, read the textbook thoroughly and ask your doubts. Okay, make sure that each and everything that you read from the textbook is clear to you. Next week we will be starting off with the next chapter, that is three-dimensional geometry. So before that, I want all of you to learn and understand vector algebra completely before we move on to the next chapter. It's very, very important, children. It is very simple. Only thing is that take some time to understand the concept clearly. Okay, you have doubts, do ask. Okay, it's all for you. I'm again telling you, I don't think that our school will be opening very fast or in a near point of time. So it is all your responsibility how you focus on your studies. Okay, exams will happen. Definitely exams will happen by the end of March or in the middle of March or in the beginning of March, whichever way it is. But how you prepare for the exam is very important. We have just 4 or 5 or 6 months more. 5 months only we have. So make sure that by this time, if it was a proper schooling time, we could have been finishing off with the portion. We could have been rushing off with the portions. But we have no rush here. We are putting it into small portions, small capsules and giving to you every week. Make sure that you learn it. Take time to understand the concept. Take time to see the videos. Don't waste your time over anything. Don't ever feel that there is more time to come. There is more time. Be honest to yourself. Okay. So read the chapter thoroughly and do ask doubts.